Charles, you mentioned being out there with the Jets and having a look at Zach Wilson, who celebrated his 22nd birthday, which is just half as old as Tom Brady, which is insane. I would not be doing a service to the man who sits in this chair every day, Rich Eisen, if I didn't ask for a Zach Wilson Jets update. What are you seeing out there with the Jets?
Like I said, I mean, he throws a good ball. He gets it out of his hand quickly. He's pretty decisive. But again, it's still early. I think what's going to be interesting is they're going to have a lot of the line is going to be a lot of zone schemes, and I think Mekhi Becton is unreal, but I don't know if he's a zone left tackle. So I'm curious to kind of see how that plays out for him. He's going to have to be lighter on his feet and move around, and that's if you're talking about Zach Wilson, you're talking about his left tackle. So that guy can't afford to miss this season. So I'm curious to see, how he does in their zone schemes. But the talent is clearly there. He throws the deep ball. It's perfect. I mean, it's tight. It's, I get it. You understand why they drafted him, the athleticism. But again, we're barely into pads, and it's going to take some time. And not only that, the surrounding roster, now they've improved it. I'll give them that. Like the roster definitely, the last time I was through here was 2019, and there's no question in my mind the roster looks better. I'll tell you what, the Elijah Moore kid that they took in the second round, the wide receiver, is a vacuum. Like if a ball gets near him, he's catching it, and which is, he's been pretty impressive just watching him today. And Corey Davis, I think, is going to be a good addition for them. But there's going to be some kinks to work out for them schematically, and Wilson's going to go through his lumps, but early on, there's no not standing out here going, oh man, this looks like this is going to be a long-term work in progress, like sometimes you get when you get guys who go in the first round.
Charles Robinson joins the show, Yahoo Sports senior NFL reporter. They got good snacks out there at training camp? Good snack selection?
I don't know. They put us up on a balcony. I don't see any snacks up here, and I'm like, I don't know if you want to put a lot of Jets reporters up on a balcony. Like I think you're tempting fate. I don't know how long you can cover the Jets from a balcony and not think twice about.
Yeah, give him a Fig Newton or something, some kind of snack or a bag of peanuts. Let's stay in New York. Let's talk about the New York Giants, who are one day into pads and already have a fight. So what's going on with Daniel Jones and the Giants?
Well, don't fight on top of the quarterback. That's the only. I'm not against camp fights. I know some coaches hate it because I think it's a 50-50 proposition. Sometimes it, gets the juice flowing and guys are into it and it develops some kind of a mentality. But, the other half of it is creates animus, sometimes get injured. But I've never heard of people get into a brawl on top of the starting quarterback, who, by the way, is still not a known commodity. We don't know if Daniel Jones is going to be a good player or not. He's definitely not going to be a good player. Keep fighting on top of him.
They might not have known he was the quarterback. They might have just thought he was a kicker or just a random lineman or somebody else.
It's a bad sign. They're like, we thought it was a punter. It's interesting. We're getting that second run of Joe Judge, and some guys are going to love him, some guys aren't going to like him so much. I think. It's hard to know right now what Joe Judge is ultimately going to believe, because I feel like he is very much a love him or hate him kind of guy. Like he's got that kind of a program. I don't want to bring up Belichick, but he is kind of like Belichick that way, where, if you're in the program, you're buying into it, he's going to buy into you. But if you're not on the program, you're not listening, he's not buying into you. Look at Calvin Benjamin. I mean, they bring the kid in, the Dave Gettleman, invite, and or the Dave Gettleman pick up, and they told him, lose weight, come in, you're at whatever, I think it was like 260 and full squad minis. They're like, you got to lose some weight and get in here. Here's what we want you to play at. And he showed up, I think 3 pounds heavier, and that's a Joe Judge cut right there. That's like, no, we're not going to have that. We're not playing this game. So hopefully they can get Kenny Golladay back on the field. The hamstring, that stinks for them. That's definitely a guy they need working with Daniel Jones right now. But I think a lot of this is just going to rest on the Daniel Jones development, and let's see what Saquon looks like.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.